Come with me because it's about to get good. This is really awesome.
Madrid is the focal point of Spain, and on this episode of The Tour Guide, I'm hoping to find good food, incredible experiences, and meet some fun local people. I'm joined by my good buddies and like-minded travelers, Sean and Brandon, to make the most out of this lively city. While Madrid is a massive European capital of over 6 million people, the elegant historic core will allow us to experience the highlights. We'll take a food tour, check out the famous Prado Museum, get around the city on an electric tuk-tuk, and hang out at the Royal Palace, all while getting to know the local culture.
Here we are in Madrid, day one, and I'm at Casa San Ginés for the best churros and chocolate. I think that's an ideal way of starting my morning. Probably can't have it every single morning because it's, it is fried dough, but I can't think of a better place to start my Madrid journey. Let's do it. I am fueled up, ready to go. First order of the agenda is to see the Prado, which is the highlight to any visit here in Madrid. I'm outside of the Museo del Prado, which is definitely, without a doubt, one of the top things that you need to do when you're in Madrid. And if you take a look at the line behind me, it is rather long. That's why we advise that you buy your tickets ahead of time or hop on one of our tours. We'll make the whole thing easy for you because there are over 3,000 pieces of art and we want to navigate you through the best ones.
The Prado is one of the most significant collections of art in all of Europe, thanks to the wealth and influence of the Spanish monarchy. Not only will you see Spanish masters like Velázquez and Goya, but also a pantheon of old world masters like Titian and Rubens.
The Prado was fantastic, so many great works of art. Now I'm a little hungry, to be honest, so I hit up my friend Sarah, who lives here in Madrid, and we're meeting in the Plaza del Rey, which is a cute little square about 10 minutes away from the Prado. We're gonna sit down for lunch and have a good time.
Just like in life, whether traveling or filming, things don't always go as planned. So we stayed flexible, called an audible, and headed somewhere else to find a bite to eat.
So normally you would order a caña, which is a small baby beer, and that's what Sarah had originally suggested, but this place is so popular that everyone orders a double caña, so that's the only thing they serve, so we're gonna get a regular size beer.
After a quick beer in Chueca Square, Sarah suggested we head to a food market for lunch on the rooftop.
Oh yeah, it's money. So good. I'm on the rooftop of Mercado San Antonio at the Terrazza Nordeste, and they have their own proprietary gin, which I'm excited to try. I've already ordered our opening cocktail. It's a fantastic day here in Madrid, surrounded by beautiful architecture, enjoying the fresh air, but more importantly, I have the company of my friend Sarah, so I'm pretty excited about that. And look at that crust. That's how you know it's good bread, right? And you can do that. It makes that sound. It's good bread. So this is grilled avocado, and I've never really had this before. It completely changes the texture. In California, we don't grill our avocados, and the texture is just a different story altogether. It's really good.
When the tartare arrived, it was pretty impressive, and I just couldn't help myself by making a little scarpetta and dipping it right into the bone marrow.
The surprise was it being served on the bone marrow, and then when he burned all the herbs.
It's very so cooking.
Yeah, it was so
Okay.
very
Muchas
gourmet.
gracias.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
The Royal Palace of Madrid is one of the main historical highlights of the city. It's one of the great palaces of Europe, and the sumptuous interiors just make me wish that I was king for one day.
Oh, a day here would be like a day of glory. It'd be a day of food, dancing, you know, feasting, a lot of getting to know one another in a very intimate way in the intimate spaces. Well, it was meant to rival Versailles, so all that gold ornamentation and like Baroque and Rococo flourishes. This is one of the great palaces in Europe, hands down, for sure. I think the room where they have the portraits of the royal family that I recognize, King Juan Carlos, his wife, Queen Sofia, who was actually Greek, the new king, his son, King Felipe. So King Juan Carlos abdicated actually, and he also has 2 daughters. This place has been the seat of power in Madrid for 900 years. It started off as a Moorish stronghold, then it became a Christian fortress, and when Philip II moved the capital to Madrid, it became a Renaissance palace, and the royal family hasn't looked back since. It's now a Baroque masterpiece, rivaling the palaces of Versailles and Schönbrunn in Vienna. There's 3,000 rooms in here with loads of history. It costs 12 euros to visit, and you certainly will need a guide because there's so much history and so much detail in each room. And I'll tell you what, it was freaking awesome.
Madrid is a big metropolitan capital with a historic core that most travelers don't leave. The famous square called Puerta del Sol is at its center. To the west, we have the Royal Palace, and southwest is where the cobbled historic district is located with Plaza Mayor at its core. Gran Via is the big boulevard running east and west. There's many ways to get around Madrid, but today we decided to take an electric tuk-tuk tour of the city.
How long does the tour last?
Like almost 2 hours.
Oh yeah! If you're looking for a more premium experience compared to a hop-on, hop-off bus tour, this is it.
We covered a lot of ground today with our guide Javi, and this is something I recommend doing on the first day to get a fantastic orientation of the city. After getting to know the city a little bit better on the tuk-tuk tour, I wanted to circle back and spend more time in Retiro Park before dinner. It's a former royal park and the perfect place to relax after an epic day of sightseeing. Retiro has been open to the public since the 18th century and is the ideal green space to walk around, unwind, and people watch. The 300-acre park is a popular place with locals, but never seems overly crowded. We cover it on our Madrid tour, so be sure to check the links in the description below.
I'm outside of Mercado San Miguel here, which is just on the other side of Plaza Mayor, because we are gonna start a food tour. We're gonna eat our way through Madrid right here, right now. My guide is waiting for me right over there, so come with me because It's about to get good.
Majid first wanted to show off Mercado San Miguel, which is the old Central Market. It's recently been restored, super trendy, and has a great vibe. You can find most traditional tapas here, but it is famous and expensive. So instead of filling up here, we're saving our appetite for the long food tour ahead of us and the next stop.
So we're just down the street from Mercado San Miguel on the other side of Plaza Mayor, and we're at this very local tapas bar about to have some mushrooms because this particular tapas bar specializes in mushrooms. So at one point in history, my guide told me that the Plaza Mayor used to be a bull ring, and what used to happen is the bullfighters would come to this very spot and eat mushrooms. Same way Popeye eats spinach, bullfighters would eat mushrooms. And that, my friends, is interesante, right?
Se abren los palillos así
Okay.
y entero a la boca.
Entero.
De una.
So,
entera.
okay. So it's parsley, sausage, and garlic inside of the mushroom, and you essentially have to double fist this bad boy and pop it in your mouth completely whole. I'm not gonna do that just yet because he says it's molten hot. I'm gonna give it a minute to rest while I have a glass of water, and I'll show you the original tapas was served on top of your plate like that. So the way tapas got their name is they were originally served on top of your drink like this when you were in a traditional bar, and they would tapar, which means to cover your glass. And eventually people would kept saying, you know, fill me up, mas tapas, tapar, tap, 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 tap. And it eventually became tapas, and that's what our guide just said to us. And I find that to be very interesante. We're listo, the whole thing in the mouth. Más fuerte.
The Plaza Mayor represents the glory days of the 17th century and the former Spanish Empire. The uniform sides of the square made it a perfect setting as a theater, bullfighting arena, and location for the gruesome era known as the Inquisition. Many so-called heretics, Protestants, Jews, and Muslims were executed right here in this square during that time. Today, it is the historic epicenter of the city and one of the most iconic squares in Spain. The next stop on the food tour with Majid is Casa Varona, located in the historic Barrio de las Letras.
Which is known for their beef cheeks. We're gonna give those a try after throwing down some of this beautiful wine from Alicante. Majid, how do you say beef cheeks in Spanish?
Carrillones.
Carrillones. And you know, I was noticing I didn't see that on the menu.
Yeah, because it's off from the menu.
Off menu. I was just served some sumptuous beef cheeks, slow roasted. Make them super tender. Look at that. I mean, do I even need a knife? Probably not, but I'm just trying to be polite because, you know, I got some manners. But look at that. Meat just falls apart in a jus of some sort, served, of course, with potatoes. Oh, yeah. That's what you want. So we made it to the next stop on our food crawl here with Majid, and tell me, where are we now?
We are in Casa de la Becerria. This is the name we have here. Okay. We are going to try something very special from here, from Madrid. That this is gambas al ajillo.
Ooh,
Yeah.
shrimp with garlic and olive oil, right?
Yeah,
it's
you
it's
have
gonna be
to get
good.
it all. It's
That's
so
actually like one of my favorites. So thank you. Oh, look at the drippage. The drippage of the molten hot oil. Oh yeah, man.
Jamaican? Was that Jamaican? Oh yeah, man.
It's been an incredible day here in Madrid. We hit all of the highlights of this elegant yet vibrant capital city. We started in one of Europe's largest painting galleries, the Prado, then hit up the Royal Palace, zipped around the city in an eco-friendly way, and then really got into it on our fantastic food tour. I even had time to hang out with locals while still having a good time with my buddies. I'm Angel Castellanos for the tour guide. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and smash that bell so you can find our next video. Happy travels!